It came down to a possession-by-possession game, some big stops down the stretch, but we put ourselves in a great position. Like you said, a lot of easy missed free throws as well as layups that could have swayed the game and gave us the cushion that we needed. But, we just have a resilient group. We believe in one another, and it was a good first playoff win of a new journey, of a 2017 playoff. So.
Kyrie, Scott Sargent, WFNY, to your left. On a game where your shot's probably not falling as efficiently as you wanted to, how big was it to get those two stops at the end and kind of will that defensively?
It was really big for our team, just the momentum, and just understanding, how big of a stop it was for that moment, and just take full advantage of it. I wish I could have converted on a layup going down the middle. That would have gave us even more of a cushion, but it's just a possession-by-possession game, especially against a team like this. And, to get a stop like that felt pretty good. But it was all for my teammates. Do it again in any given moment. So just going forward, just keep the defensive pressure up.
Those two steals that you had personally, did you feel the crowd in those moments?
I was thinking about the next possession, honestly. You definitely could hear the crowd roaring. Best fans here playing at home, best feeling. But the next moment is what counted. And like I said, I'll be dreading that one. Going to the lane and Miles Turner kind of punches mine into a new planet. So, yeah. Hopefully next time I can convert on that.
Steve Ashburn, NBA.com. As you guys go through this thing for however long you go, people seem like they're going to be taking your pulse, your team's pulse, in terms of Cavaliers championship level. And I'm wondering, you mentioned this was step one. Where are you guys in terms of where you need to be?
I mean, it's a long journey, and we understand that. So, we don't take, one win for granted or any win for granted. We don't take any possessions for granted. Tonight was just a lot of mistakes on our end, a lot of 50-50 basketballs that should have been in our hands, a few rebounds kicked out of bounds. And those are things that we can correct. So we just understand that. We just got to take it game by game. And we understand that. We just have a veteran group. And if we do that, we'll put ourselves in a great position.
Do you feel like you guys have given opponents hope just from the way you've played and been critical of your own play?
This is game one of the playoffs. So, we'll just take it from there. What are you asking exactly?
Well, it would seem that, you guys seem to talk about knowing you're not where you need to be. Opposing teams hear that, and that might make them, feel more confident.
That doesn't mean that we believe it. I've never said that. I understand that there's things that we can correct going forward, but I don't think I've ever said that, something like that where we haven't been in a good position. I think I don't know exactly what you're trying to ask, but, I don't know if I have an answer. So.
If you guys feel vulnerable at all.
Oh, we feel vulnerable? Yeah. Hell no. No. Okay. No, not going to any game with the group that we have. Why? I understand there's some mistakes that happened throughout the game. The regular season didn't end the way we wanted to. But like I said, it's just a step in the right direction. Game one of just taking care of home floor, and we just got to come out game two with an even higher focus, even better level of intensity, and limit our mistakes, and we'll be good.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Is there a common thread, Kyrie, between the Hawks game here and the Hawks game there, and then this one as far as just an inability to hang on to these leads that you build fairly late?
Just coming out in that fourth quarter, as well as past fourth quarters, we just have to do a better job of executing. That's what it really comes down to. We're putting a lot on Bron's shoulders to come out in the fourth quarter and get everyone shots, as well as the players that he's out there with. But I think it just starts on the defensive end, and as well as our intensity on that end, coming in and just, teams, they come in. Lance hits 2 mid-range pull-ups that gets them going, and then it turns from a 10-point lead or 8-point lead into a 4-point lead. So We could sway that a little bit differently. I know that our veteran ball club that we have will do a better job coming out in the fourth quarter with a higher intensity and execute on both ends of the floor. So.
Kyrie, we've seen in the regular season and even here today, defensively at times, you guys are outstanding. What needs to happen so that happens more consistently?
Well, we just keep them out of transition, limit our mistakes, and make them play half-court offense against us. I feel like we'll be in a great position if we do that. And going forward, it just some of the shots that they were taking were long rebounds sometimes. Some of the nerves of guys just getting rebounds, then we just kick it off our foot. If we limit those and we play half-court defense and we make them beat them there, we're in a great position. So.
Thank you, Kyrie.
Yep.
Hey, Brian, Tom Withers, AP. I know you feel good to get away with the win. What troubles you, though, down the stretch? You guys had a nice lead, and obviously they made some big plays and some big shots.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. We executed our defensive plan and made some big shots. And offensively, we kind of got a little stagnant, started playing a little bit isolation, which we're very good at. But no matter what happened, we came out with the win. And, in a series, I think you get better with time. You see what teams are capable of, what they want to do, what we want to do, how we can be successful on both ends. And, so I'm looking forward to actually watching the film tomorrow to see, how we can be much better going into Monday.
And if I could follow, can you take us through the last play on blitzing Paul there and making him give it up?
You said it. We wanted to get the ball out of his hands, make somebody else try to beat us, and we'll live with the results.
LeBron, Kenny Rowe to WHBC Radio, right over here. Game one, you've said in the past it's kind of a feel-out thing for you in the first quarter for you, and then when you look back on it as a team. So what do you take away from this, filling this out that needs to be adjusted, and what are you happy with?
Well, I'm happy we got the victory. I'm happy how emotional we was. I'm happy with the energy and the effort. We played with energy and effort all night. And like I said, they made some big shots. They made some big plays. So I'm excited about that. But like I said, game one has always been a fill-out game for myself. Seeing what you can do, seeing ways you can be better. You always go into game two even more prepared because you see what type of game plan they have. So, like I said, as the series go on and on, you start to learn more about the team, learn more about your opponent, and try to be better the next game. But it's a great start for us.
LeBron, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. You mentioned some of the ISO stuff that you guys did late. They switched a lot. So how do you balance, taking advantage of those switches and those mismatches versus making sure that the ball continues to pop the way that you like?
Well, we were going to tomorrow, obviously, looking at what they did defensively versus us late in the game, and Coach Staff will give us a great game plan, going into game two. So, if that's what they're going to do, we have to figure out a way to exploit it and get the ball moving.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. LeBron, if you guys know it's going to be a long process or expect it to be a long process, yet at the same time want to, lock in or ramp things up, how do you impart that balance to the team with the things you say to them or the example you set?
Well, every day is a learning experience. Even though we've had a very successful postseason last year, it doesn't matter what you can take things from it, but you apply right now. So we're going against a very good opponent in Indiana who coach of the month they had and Paul George player of the month. So we have to understand that. We have to understand the competition. We understand no matter who we play, they're going to give us their best shot. And like I said, Coach Lou and our coaching staff are going to give us a great game plan. It's up to us to go out and execute it.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. LeBron, with the way that the regular season ended, and especially when most of you were all still playing and out there, had CJ's shot gone in, what kind of effect might that have had, just, again, given the weird and frustrating endings that you had been having to games?
There's no way you can even answer that question. If I didn't get the block last year in the finals, what happens? If Kyrie didn't make the three, if Steph would have made the three, there's so many. You can't look at the game like that. He missed, we won. So if it's not a rain delay here in Cleveland in the World Series, do we win the World Series? You can't ask that question. It is what it is. So coaches gave us a great game plan, get the ball out of PG's hand, and we live with the results.
Hey, LeBron. Greg Doyle at the Indy Star. You've dealt with this a lot, the right basketball play versus the best player on the court taking the shot no matter what happens. That you guys made Paul give the ball up. Is the right basketball play ever just to say, no, I'm taking the shot no matter what, or does he have to have no choice?
I can only speak for myself. If I get doubled, I'm giving it up. That's me. I don't know how everybody else feel about that, but if you get doubled, it's I think we all know math in here. If there's two guys on the ball, then it's a 4-on-3. You have your numbers, So, the best player on the floor doesn't mean he has to take the shot. And I think he made the right play, and you got to live with the results.
LeBron, Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Just to go on with that last play, you guys got the ball out of Paul's hands, so mission accomplished. But once it leaves his hands, how wary are you that it might end up back in his hands? And what do you do against him?
Oh, you're very. I mean, he's one of the most dangerous guys on the court on both sides. So, luckily, we knew the clock was going down, and CJ pretty much had to go, ISO or try to put up a shot against RJ, and RJ did a great job of trying to cut him off and making him reload his shot and still getting a contest. So, when you go in our league, the guy who gives up the ball is sometimes the most dangerous because you tend to relax, and he can come back and get it. So, we just have to have our antennas up.
LeBron, you mentioned going into the playoffs, being better from the free throw line, and you changed your routine today. I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, you borrowed one from Ray Allen. The idea for this one that you used today, where did that come from?
Well, myself and Kyle, we kind of been brainstorming about, how I can get it, be more efficient. I mean, and obviously Kyle was probably one of the most efficient guys that we have from the free throw line on our team. So I'm a basketball mind. I'm open-minded about, trying to figure out ways that can help my efficiency. So, it's a good start.
What was the tweet that you made from Kyle's tutelage?
What's that word?
Okay, let's say Kyle's help.
It's a routine that we're gonna stick with.
LeBron, Paul George said he was a little bit surprised that you guys doubled him so hard and so quick. Was that something you guys determined before the game, that if it came down to that, you guys were going to do it, or was that just in the huddle there when they called that timeout?
No, it's something we've worked on for the last 3 years. And especially like the last year and a half when T. Lue took over, it's something we've always had in our package versus any dynamic scorer or any guy that has a role in. So, it's not something we made up or something that we haven't done before. We just had in our back pocket and we used it tonight.